Hello students, in this video we will conclude the essay Introduction to the Empire Writes Back. Here we should note some important points. Firstly, contribution of post-colonial writers and how they have built up a new area of literature which rejects the values of colonial literature. Secondly, the post colonial writers emerge from various parts of the world and therefore their identities are cross regional and cross cultural. Thirdly, the authors of the Empire Writes Back make distinction between English of the British and Englishes of the third world countries. Fourthly, the major feature of post-colonial studies deal with issues on diasporic displacement of the native migrants across the globe. With this, let us see how the authors conclude this essay. Post-colonial writers who follow the native traditions and values have contributed to this origin and thereby dismantle the hegemony of the West. The European yardsticks has proved to be fatal to the cultural traditions of the othered third world. The West categorizes the third world based on their race, color, gender, culture, and economy. Resistance to these subjectivities and discriminations has led to the origin of post colonial literature, which celebrates the plurality of the cultures of the previously colonized societies. Here, we see that the post colonial writers follow native traditions and values. They have contributed to the origin of post colonial literature. The writers dismantle hegemony of the West and resist subjectivities and discriminations of the West. Post colonial writing is an international field which focuses on the cultures which are alienated across borders. Indian writing in English has earned fame across the globe through a number of literary giants like V.S. Naipaul, Salman Rushdie, Amitav Ghosh, Anita Desai, Jhumpa Lahiri, Vikram Seth, Vikram Chandra, and Arundhati Roy, and others. Their novels are great sociological records which reflect the cultural changes and the socio political turmoil in the Indian society. The global nature of post colonial literature means that the reader needs to be aware of a variety of contexts because of the influence of migration and the availability of global travel. Writers may not belong to or identify with one geographical region but across both regional and cultural boundaries through their writings. So, post colonial writing focuses on alienated cultures across the borders, and their novels are great sociological records of the turmoil, socio political turmoil found in the Indian society. Post-colonialism projects a challenge by writing back to the imperial center. This post-colonial approach is crystallized in The Empire Writes Back by Ashcraft, Griffiths, and Tiffin. They study the cultural hegemony of the colonized countries, which is manifested in post colonial writing. The socio historical pressures of the third world nations have made the post colonial writings an outlet for contemporary realities. The Empire Writes Back exposes the rejection of old colonial rules. Their new English is completely different from the English of the imperial powers. These different linguistic practices assert the empowerment of the varied vernacular tongues of Englishes from the Third World. Ashcraft, Griffiths, and Tiffin focus on intricate ways in which language has been made different in post-colonial societies. They add up their views on the differences between the English of the British and the Englishes of the Third World countries. The standard English usage is rejected by the post colonial communities and they adorn transformed and subverted English to state their sense of difference. The English of the post colonial societies has shattered the original essence of English by displacing the original value system of the language. The post colonial writings offer new values and identities, declaring their separation from the received standard English, which radiates from the center. The antiquity and rich cultural tradition of the English literary writings face serious challenge from the post-colonial world. In practice, the history of this distinction between English and Englishes has been between the claims of a powerful center and a multitude of intersecting usages designated as peripheries. The language of these peripheries was shaped by an oppressive discourse of power, yet they have been the site of some of the most exciting and innovative literatures of the modern period, and this has, at least in part, been the result of the energies uncovered by the political tension between the idea of a normative code and a variety of regional usages. So, post colonialism is mainly concentrated on writing back to the center. The writers reject colonial rules, and authors of The Empire Writes Back find distinction between English, that is the language of powerful center, and Englishes, that is the language of periphery or the post colonial nations. The power structures and social hierarchies set by the imperial authorities cast their influence over the third world. A long history of colonial influence has reshaped the cultural norms of formerly colonized societies. As Leela Gandhi remarks, post colonialism projects, I quote, the academic task of revisiting, remembering, and crucially interrogating the colonial past, unquote. The major features of post colonial studies is to deal with issues of diasporic displacement of the native migrants across the globe. This displacement challenges the cultural belonging of the migrants and places them in the grip of alienation and identity crisis. Issues like hybridity, transculturalism, transnationalism, mimicry, ambivalence, and creolization capture the in between status of the migrants. These issues churn the cross cultural crisis of the migrant in alien countries. Colonization and imperialism have forwarded this displacement of natives, and this generates new identities and unprecedented changes over the third world. The new social spaces created by displacement expose the mixing of various cultures affecting the migrants' identity.